So you predict that Leicester are going to beat Liverpool, no one believes you, you put a cheeky £20 bet on and you come up quids in. That's what we do here on JNO United. What's up guys, and welcome to FPL Today in association with FPLUpdates.com, your website for the best articles and hints and tips for the Fantasy Premier League. And today on FPL Today we're looking towards game week 27 and into the future with so many blanks and double game weeks that we have to navigate to get the most points we can in the FPL. And speaking of which, the FPL question of the game week is: how many Manchester City players are you bringing into your side? Aguero and Sterling seem like the most popular options, but we do have to worry about rotation as well. So we'll be having a look at that when we get to the end of this episode. As far as how I did last game week, I managed to get 54 points, which was above the average of 45. However, that did mean I dropped in overall ranking. My overall ranking now is 25,394th. The highest score of the game week was 137 points. My total points now is on 1,463 and my game week rank was over 1.3 million. My classic rank has now dropped because of this. I'm now 30th, but I'm still first in the FPL Updates Writers League. And in the FPL Updates Classic League, which you can win £400 in, I am 503rd. And the FPL Updates Classic League is still the #1 Classic League in the FPL game. My mistake of the game week was leaving Llorente on the bench because I brought in Mane. Everyone was backing Mane, and then Leicester went and did what I said they could do against the Liverpool side that slip up against teams with new managers and that are struggling. Leicester winning 3-1, but at least I made a profit from it. What did that do for my classic and head-to-head ranks? Reds all across the board. The Reds are back, unfortunately, but that's what happens when you're playing people that know what they're doing. If we take a look at the Dream Team would have got 134 points this game week. The players to talk about: Macaulay keeps on scoring. For a defender, it's a ridiculous record he's got at the moment. Coleman proves that he could be a better option than Leighton Baines as your Everton defender. And Patrick Van Aanholt finally comes through with a score, despite the fact that a lot of managers probably have just dropped him. In the midfield, we can see that the points are spread across this Chelsea team, unfortunately, at the moment. Costa and Hazard are the popular options, but this game week, Pedro and Fabregas outperform both of them. That is my problem with the Chelsea side. Defence-wise, at least you know you can potentially get clean sheet points. As far as picking attacking Chelsea players, where the points going to come from, there's not that one player which you're confident will be involved in all the goals. Eriksen also made it into the midfield for the Dream Team of the Week, but he played second fiddle to Harry Kane, who went and scored a hat-trick, and Harry Kane was joined by a regular England partner. It's almost like it was FPL last year. Jamie Vardy is back in the Dream Team of the Week, getting a great score. But Jamie Vardy can't dethrone Harry Kane as the star of the week, coming in at 11.3 million. In game week 26, he got 3 goals from 6 attempts. On target, he had 4 shots on target, giving a minute per chance of 14.3. Shot accuracy was at 66.7% and his goal conversion was at 50%, with a goal involvement rate in that game of 100%. If you had Harry Kane, you were a very happy man this weekend. Just gone. And the fall of the week is the Iceman from the FF Surgery podcast. We had a big argument about Liverpool versus Leicester. All just banter really, but you know what? I thought I'd give you guys a shout out by proving that I was right. The Iceman was wrong. But I might have won that battle. I'm sure we'll go to battle again. The war isn't over. Now we get onto the part of the FPL Today show where we look at the hot list. And I apologise if this is a bit more brief than usual and there may not be graphics to the side because unfortunately it's my wife's birthday this weekend. In fact, it's my wife's birthday as I'm recording this. So it may not be as polished a show as usual and there may not be the graphics, but I wanted to get something out for this game week. Anyway, the hot list, we start with the goalkeepers and we have Jakupovic as a #1 choice above Ben Foster and Robles. Jakupovic comes in at 4.1 million, has got 2 clean sheets in the last 4 game weeks, only conceding 3 goals and getting 16 saves. And his next 2 fixtures are Leicester and Swansea, and there's also Middlesbrough, West Ham and Everton in his up and coming fixtures as well. Defenders wise, we are looking at Seamus Coleman as the top pick, just beating Gareth McCauley. That's more of a gut feeling for me. I feel like Seamus Coleman could be bringing in a lot of points. Alfie Mawson brings up the 3. Seamus Coleman comes in at 5.9 million. He's got 2 clean sheets, he's conceded 4 goals and he's got 2 assists from 5 chances created. His next game against Tottenham isn't an easy fixture, but then he does have West Brom and Hull both at home. Before you probably want to get rid of him and start bringing in double game week players when you start looking at the Liverpool and Man United games. Moving on to the midfield, and Gylfi Sigurdsson is still top of the hot list. That's 3 weeks in a row that I've backed this man, just beating out Joshua King and Christian Eriksen. I'm trying to avoid players that have blanks. Eriksen does have a blank, but I just believe he could keep up consistently scoring behind Harry Kane. Sigurdsson, however, comes top because of no blanks. Coming in at 7.6 million, that price is still rising. He's got 2 goals from 14 attempts, 7 of which have been on target. He's got 3 assists from 8 chances created, and his goal involvement in that Swansea side is 83.3%. And he's got Burnley, Hull and Bournemouth, and then Middlesbrough as his next 4. And then we look at the forward, and Romelu Lukaku takes the top spot just above Sergio Aguero, who now has a double game week. It's been confirmed in game week 27. Lots of Man City players are being brought in at the moment. However, Sergio Aguero does then blank in game week 28. Llorente picks up the 3rd spot, but we're sticking with Lukaku because of no blanks at 10 million. He's got 5 goals from 12 attempts, 8 of which have been on target. He gets a chance every 31.5 minutes with a shot accuracy of 66.7%, goal conversion of 41.7% and a goal involvement rate of 55.6%. Once they're past the Tottenham game, there's that West Brom and Hull game at home, which look very tasty. So that's the hot list. Is there anyone you think I've missed out on? I know I could have put a lot of Man City players in this, but I did do the research before the Man City Huddersfield game had been played, and I think the Man City players are good for 1 game week, really, so I didn't want to beef up the hot list with too many Man City players, hence why Aguero is the one that made it. Anyway, now we move on to looking towards the fixtures in game week 27, and the tasty looking fixtures to me: Man United versus Bournemouth. Ibrahimovic is on form, Man United are buoyed by their EFL Cup win, and Bournemouth are leaking goals. So this is a recipe for a big scoreline for Man United and a lot of points that players may not get because they've transferred out their Man United assets. As for Bournemouth, Joshua King looks the most exciting prospect at the moment. He's out of position playing up front despite the fact he's classed as a midfielder. We then have Leicester versus Hull. Leicester beat Liverpool, I'm going to keep mentioning it, but Leicester are without a manager at the moment, and this is the kind of game that they've been struggling in, and Hull have looked good. I can't predict where the points are going to come from this game, but I believe there are a lot of potential points in this fixture. We then have Swansea versus Burnley. Burnley are not good on the road. Gylfi Sigurdsson is consistent as anything, so I think Sigurdsson is the FPL hot choice at the moment, and you need to have him because of no blank in game week 28. We then move on to Liverpool versus Arsenal. I said it last week, Liverpool are the type of side that will mess up a fixture that they should win. They're also the type of side that turn up to fixtures that they should struggle in or at least find competitive. Arsenal are the perfect opponents for a Liverpool side that may have rested their legs. So I feel like this is the time when that Liverpool asset, Mane, may come good for you. So I'd say hold on to Mane. I doubt anyone's got many Arsenal players left because of this fixture. But if you do, Alexis Sanchez does like to perform in the big games. Then we have Tottenham versus Everton, 2 informed sides with some informed options. This could be a game where you get lots of points in defence or lots of points in attack, but I'm definitely not going to pick a winner in this one. And then we have Sunderland versus Man City, and Man City will have another game against Stoke in game week 27. Both games where Man City could score goals and get a lot of points. Some people may even triple captain, but the popular choice will be to captain a Man City player because they have 2 games to score the points for you in. Okay, so my captain choice of the week, it will be a Man City player, but it may not be the one you're expecting. Everyone is going to look at Sergio Aguero, and don't get me wrong, He is the most explosive option, and if he plays in both games, he will probably be the best captain choice. However, I can see rotation because this is Guardiola and this is Manchester City. And Aguero has played 14 games out of 26 this season. That's just over half. However, there are two players who could bring in points that have played 22 games this season out of 26, and that is Kevin De Bruyne and Raheem Sterling. And my captain choice, it may be a bit controversial and I could get this very wrong, but I'd say look at Raheem Sterling, purely because I feel like he is less likely to be rested, as is Kevin De Bruyne, and then Sterling has the better points potential. However, any Man City player, as long as they play both games, is a good captaincy choice. This season, Raheem Sterling has scored 6 goals with 5 assists and has had 49 attempts on goal, with 17 of them being on target. That isn't the best shot accuracy or the best goal conversion rate of 34.7 and 12.2, but I just feel like you need to have someone, if you're going for a double game week, that you have confidence is going to play in both games. And my differential of the week, and I'm not saying captain choice him, I'm not saying put the captaincy armband on him, but my differential for the game week is Joe Allen. He has scored 6 goals this season and got 2 assists, and he will also have a double game week. But please don't captaincy him. Don't do it. You watch him score so many points now, but don't do it. And the red herring of the game week, I think, will be bringing in too many Manchester City players. Everyone is focused so much on the double game week that they'll probably be taking minuses. If Man City disappoint in these 2 games and you've taken lots of minuses, it could hurt your ranking. So be careful, don't go too Man City happy. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning in as always. I apologise if the graphics weren't there. I may not get time to do the graphics because of a very busy week at work and my wife's birthday. But hopefully I'll get this video out on Thursday evening or Friday morning. Apologise for the lateness. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the episode. I've been JNO. You guys have been awesome. And remember, it's all about the game.